Hello guys, Tops here. Today another viewer submitted company. This is a cultist run. Difficulty is veteran. No Iron Man, as recommended. And we have a bunch of famed weapons and famed equipment in the backpack. So I just ignore that. I just check out the builds for now. Okay. So, as cultists, you should know you get insane buffs from the candles. So you get additional hit points, fatigue, resolve, right? You get a lot of nice things. Here. Yeah, Chosen of Davkul. Is that the Prophet? We're gonna find the Prophets later. But yeah, as you can see, you get like insane stats for being Daddy Cool's favorite. Okay, let's start with Hans. Hans is a greatsword guy. But you can only convert low bonds. That's kind of the problem with that. Yeah, Hans, greatsword guy. Backstabber gifted. Otherwise normal forge build. Yeah, battle forge greatsword. I like this. You have, generally speaking, flex perks. In this case, he went for gifted and backstabber, considering how much defense and fatigue we have. That's the only thing you can't fix is melee attack with cultists, so I like this build. Good off-tank on the flank. Has some nice light gear as well. This guy, oh, I guess we managed to brain damage a highborn here. Quite nice, this guy. Nimble, quick hands, mace guy. Yeah, alright. Good stats. I probably wouldn't have taken gifted. But like he has a lot of veteran levels. I don't know how it was initially. So yeah, but I like this build. Yeah, Executioner. It's kind of nice. I would argue that Headhunter is better damage than Executioner, but in the grand scheme that doesn't matter too much. This guy, Dagger Duelist, I would assume, with a shield, which is, yeah, has low defense. So the Fearsome build, interesting. Okay, so it looks like we have like a puncture guy. So like triple puncture with Fearsome. It's quite funny. Something you could do. On the other side, you know, puncture does normally enough damage to proc moral checks already. Especially with this one. So you don't really need the Fearsome. But it's not bad having Fearsome on this guy. But I don't like the Katal combo with the Fearsome. But, like, this is a Dagger Duelist, right? Oh, doesn't have Duelist. Okay. This is just a Dagger Shield guy. I'm sorry. So this is the Dagger Fearsome guy. Yeah, this is a very specific build. I probably would have made him a backliner when I see these melee skills. And these defense. But, like, it's fine. It's fine. That's an okay build. Very specific, though. Next one, Greataxe, boy. Yeah. Good defense. Good traits. Missing a little bit of attack. Brawny instead of quick hands. That is the one thing I probably would have changed. Taking Brawny for quick hands, especially because you're a cultist. You get +2 fatigue recovery per turn. So Brawny isn't too necessary. But to be fair, he's like very light forge gear. That tilts the build. Oh, cleaver. Wow. Yeah, best bro into cleaver, bro, as always. Ronnie is a good perk. However, I would have chosen recover. I really like the 4 action point combo into recover, berserk recover. Yeah, it's a preference of choice, but I really like to spam cleave and decapitate on cooldown. So, well, I would have went for recover instead of Brawny, and I would have probably given him like the lighter forge gear, like that guy, for instance, like 21, 14. That's the thing I would give him, and then I would swap the perk for recover. But overall, good build. Oh, a brute flail guy. Haha, excellent. 89 melee skill despite brute. Has a lot of veteran levels. I like this. No steel brow though. Very, very risky. But if you don't play Iron Man, I guess it's fine. But I would have swapped the Executioner for Steel Row here. But yeah, classic Flail build. I like it. Greataxe guy. Ooh, nasty Greataxe. Nimble Greataxe. Okay, interesting. Yeah, fine. I have nothing else to say. Again, I would argue that Headhunter is better than Executioner, but there are cases for both. Overall, I would say Headhunter is in most situations more damage than Executioner. Because, like, Undead, for instance, cannot be injured, but they can be headhunted. So, yeah, but it's fine. It's fine. This is no big deal. I like this build. You could have made him a little bit more defensive by giving him dodge or 9 lives, but that is also something that comes up to playstyle, and especially if you don't play Iron Man, you can just reload if stuff happens, so whatever. Ooh, Crossbow. Nice. What a beauty. Dude, I never had that crossbow. That looks so nice. Cool. Crossbow with throwing weapons in the backpack. So, this looks like an overwhelm crossbow. 138 initiative is definitely enough for that. Crippling strikes crossbow. Yeah, it's a very specific thing that you can do with crossbows. However, I would have much more liked to have Pathfinder on this guy. Just so you can be, especially if you are the guy who smokes nets and smoke bombs, like, you gotta make sure that you are at the right place at the right time, right? So I get the idea with the crippling strikes crossbow, but yeah, I mean, it puts your chance of injuring to like almost guaranteed on a lot of targets, but still, I would have went for Pathfinder instead. But despite that, that is a fine build, very specific. But yeah, fine build if you want to go for that. Bannerman, yeah, not much to say. Gifted, maybe a little bit of a waste. On the other side, you know, it's level 18. Oh, you managed to make him the prophet. Very good. Yeah, GG. If you can make your Bannerman the prophet, so you can spam this, excellent. That's what I tried to do with my Cultist run, but didn't work the second time. Yeah, nice build. Defensive. I like to have rotate on my banner, but this is more of a damage Bannerman. Yeah, solid build. 9 lives. Yeah, makes him very survivable. You can argue it's not necessary if you can just reload and take something like rotation. But on the same time, if you can't rotate somebody and somebody's dying, you can reload. So, doesn't matter too much, I guess. Oh, an archer. A thrower with a bow? Interesting. Okay. Yeah, that's fine. Just having a bow out and then swap to throwing weapons. Yeah, good range, bro. Good range, bro. Again, I would argue that gifted is not necessary on this brother at all. So you could have taken another perk. For instance, bow mastery. To increase your utility with the bow, your ranged. Stuff like rotation, I like to have. Yeah, overall, nice build. Could have argued that stuff like Executioner is kind of nice on throwers because of the armor pen, but yeah, it's not too important. This is a new guy, and we have Battleforge, Killing Frenzy, no Berserk. Interesting. Berserk, Executioner, but Killing Frenzy, Executioner, no Berserk. Interesting. I would have valued Berserk much higher than those 2 perks, but that is up to debate. You're obviously waiting for weapon mastery and maybe stuff like quick hands. Yeah, but I would put Berserk in a very high place, especially if you have Cultist. You have a lot of fatigue to spare. Yeah, overall nice build, not much to say. He's gonna get much stronger when he gets the candles. Quick hand hammer build, I quite like this build, much better than the AoE hammer build. I think the AoE hammer build is kind of a hoax. Yeah, good pro here, a little bit low on attack. Executioner. Yeah, I can see that. Especially on a Nimble Brother. On a, not Nimble Brother, on a Hammer Brother. Famed Hammer, yeah. Yeah, not bad, not bad. I like this build. Again, you can argue that Headhunter is better than Executioner, but that's fine. These guys, oh yeah, they're here for Daddy Cool, or maybe for being converted, and then, yeah, these guys belong to Daddy Cool probably. Tank, ooh, that's a strong tank that you have here. 9 lives, backs and belt rotation, indoor, okay. Yeah, this is a rotation tank, so it's more of a team tank. Especially with that low, relatively low resolve. Superstitious, I hate this trait. Yeah, normally I like to, for like solo tanks, I like to have Fortified Mind, and like for Monolith, Lone Wolf is not bad, but yeah, this is rotation, more of a team tank. Especially with the Superstitious trait, you don't want to put this guy on himself. Especially not in Monolith, but yeah, this is a solid tank build. Recover is missing, but you can argue on a Cultist is probably not too important. But yeah, I would have probably went for the recover, but on a tank, like my average tank wants to have 15 perks, and like none of them is gifted, and you have to make choices, right? So this is a rotation team tank. I like it. It's a strong guy, strong shield too. Yeah, strong brother. Balduin. A new guy leveling up, has a lot of attack, quite nice. Berserk Killing Frenzy, waiting for Weapon Mastery, yeah. Yeah, solid. Probably the last 2 perks I would give here is Quick Hands into Weapon Mastery. But yeah, also waiting for the Candle buff for the additional defense, but this will be a nice pro in the future, I believe. Then we have another tank. This is a Taunt tank. Also Battleforge. Yeah, alright, having 1 taunt, 1 rotation tank. That's not bad. I like this. I'm always optimizing tanks and experimenting with new tank builds. So yeah, quite good tank. Again, you have to make choices, and this is also not a solo tank, this is more of a team tank. And I think the team tank strategy is overall a little bit better than the solo tank strategy, because the stats that you need for a solo tank are just unrealistic, to say, at least. And also it's a 5% game, so there's always 1 out of a 20 chance that your tank fails, which is problematic if he's solo. If you can just taunt or rotate, then it's not a problem at all. I like this build. Next one, Old Bannerman. Ah, that was the old Fearsome banner. Yeah. It's a huge guy with a sword lance. Interesting, yeah. Ah, damn it. If only this guy had more melee skill. That would be insane. Yeah, actually, you're missing a sword lancer. I think this guy does not have enough fatigue to become a sword lancer. Not quite. But you can give him, theoretically, Polar Mastery. Right? And then you could still give him Brawny or Headhunter. Theoretically. So this guy, I think especially with Brawny, could theoretically become a sword lance, or he has the attack for that, or you can just give him the nice, some nice light famed gear, and then he can swing that sword lance, because that sword lance, that needs to be wielded. I love sword lances. Yeah, overall you have a very strong company. You have a lot of nice items here. Cleavers, nice axe. Famed gun. Pretty nice, pretty solid company. I like this. Day 350 already. Of course, Cultist, always a long campaign. Yeah, overall, I like your company. Small things here and there. But that is a nice company. And I think you will have a lot of fun with that. And you probably already had a lot of fun with them. Yeah. Alright guys, I think this is not too controversial. I liked a lot in this company. Is one of my viewers, he probably copied a lot what I like. Yeah. Guys, If you like this, you can subscribe to my channel, but also you can send your saves to my email, which is in my channel description. And yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe. I will see you in the next video, and maybe in the next company review. Have a nice day, guys. Bye bye.